I think we're starting to see the systems that are broken and cruel, that lack empathy, start to crumble. They have to, in order for us to all like raise to a higher level, higher dimension, new timeline, however you view that sort of shift. That has to be painful. If you personally have ever gone through the period in your life where you had to tell everybody no, where you had to change your beliefs, where you had to do deep reflection and look at who you are and what you believe and why you believe it, who gave you that belief, who stopped you from thinking you could do something, who stopped you from thinking other people could do something, who stopped you from believing that there are no barriers. And so when you go through that phase, when you start telling people no, when you start disagreeing with people, including your past self, it requires a lot of pain and sacrifice and like breaking away from yourself, from environments that no longer serve you, looking at how you live your life based on limitation, and you no longer want to do that, so you kind of have to like rewire everything, and that's actually painful. And I'm still going through like another level of that now, and so I'm experiencing what I think is psychic pain, because your nervous system has to like recalibrate and be allowed to hold this newer frequency or vibration that you've never been on. And so that's painful. And I think that's happening on a macro level. I think that's happening on a full earth level, where we are being forced to look at ourselves, to look at what we're doing, where the powers that be, who are cruel and non-empathetic, can no longer lie. They have to say the quiet part out loud. They have to speak the truth even when they're trying not to. They accidentally say things that they didn't truly need to say, and some of them are saying things they think sound empathetic because they no longer have any barriers. And we're watching these new I don't know what kind of starseed babies they are, but we're watching these new children come into the earth with their full, like, almost adult mental capacities available to them immediately. And that's a little bit scary for some of us, and it's going to get scarier as they get older. And I think they're here to usher in that newer regime of absolutely will not take this low vibration of emotional intelligence any longer, because I believe that it is the lack of emotional intelligence and empathy that actually has caused most of these problems. Yes, it is terrible when people are hurt or harmed, and as a solid alone fact, but refusing to acknowledge the why and correcting the why is ridiculous, because then it will just continue. It will just perpetuate. And they're trying very hard to keep you from looking at the why and to just look at what's existing. They're like, oh, there's violence here. Got to wipe that violence out. How did it get there? Because you have to address the why. You have to remove the previous way of thinking in order to prevent it from continuing. And as a collective human being, species, whatever we are being forced to look at ourselves, and the cracks in the mirror are forming, and it is going to shatter, and that's going to look really bad and really painful in the moment of, that tear down. But we have seen other examples of other locations, other places, other countries who know how to use empathy and emotional intelligence to create an environment that is not consistently violent and terrible. And we will be forced to either adapt those or we will no longer exist. That's all there is to it.